Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's all age video. Now, this week it's a bit of a one-off. We're taking a break from our series on work and we're looking at loving one another, because as we come out of lockdown, it's really important for us to be considerate and to love each other, because we'll all have different opinions and views about what we can do as we come out of lockdown. So in our all age video this week, we're looking at what Jesus taught about loving one another. So when Jesus lived on earth, he often taught people using stories. And a story that teaches is called a parable. Jesus used parables to help explain his point. So this week, I'm going to tell you one of Jesus' parables called the Good Samaritan. So as Jesus was teaching one day, a man from the crowd, and let's call him Billy, asked, "Jesus, what do I have to do to live forever?" Now, Billy was an expert in the law, so he thought he already knew the answer, but he was trying to trick Jesus. Jesus knew this, so he asked Billy, "Billy, what does the law say you must do?" Billy replied, "Love the Lord your God with everything that you have, and love your neighbor as much as you love yourself." "You got it," confirmed Jesus. But Billy still wanted to catch Jesus out, so he asked another question. "That's all very well, but what I don't know is who my neighbor is. Is it just the person who lives next door?" "That is a good question," retorted Jesus. "Let me tell you a story to help you understand. There was this man traveling from Jerusalem to Jericho." Now, all the people listening were Jews, and they knew that the road from Jerusalem to Jericho was particularly dangerous and known for attacks by robbers. But the man had no choice. He had to go to Jericho. Well, while he was on the road, Jesus continued, he was jumped by robbers who beat him up and took all his money and even his clothes. The robbers left him for dead at the side of the road. Now, a little while later, a priest from the temple happened to be traveling along the same route. He saw the man lying there. "What do you think he did?" Jesus asked. "He helped the injured man, of course," came a voice from the crowd. "No, he didn't," Jesus said firmly. The priest took one look at the man lying there, and he was more worried about getting his nice priestly clothes dirty. So he crossed over to the other side of the road and carried on by. "But don't worry," Jesus continued. "Soon another man came along. He was also a temple official. He was a Levite. What do you think he did when he saw the wounded man?" "Well, maybe he went and got a doctor to help the man," someone shouted tentatively. "Unfortunately not," Jesus said. Just like the priest, this man continued on the other side of the road. He avoided the injured man completely. There was a sigh from the crowd. But Jesus continued. A little while later, a third man walked down the road. He was a Samaritan. The crowd gasped. Someone shouted, "They're not like us." "We don't like them," added someone else. "And they don't like us," piped up a third. "He won't do anything." "That is just where you're wrong," Jesus said. As soon as the Samaritan saw the man lying there, he was filled with compassion. He went straight up to him, patched him up. He tended his wounds. Then he put the man on his own donkey and took him to the nearest inn. He paid the innkeeper to look after him until he was better. And he said to the innkeeper, I'm going to be back in a few days. And if this man's care costs any more than I've already given you, I will settle the bill at that point. Jesus turned back to Billy and said, Okay, Billy, which one of these three men was a neighbor to the man who was robbed? Which one showed him love? Sheepishly, Billy answered, Well, it was the one who helped him. Billy couldn't bring himself to say the Samaritan because Jews and Samaritans didn't get on. Jesus smiled at Billy and said, So your neighbor is anyone who needs your help. It's not just those who are like you, those who have the same views and opinions. We need to be compassionate and love everyone, not just our best friends, not just those people who live next door to us. It doesn't matter if people have slightly different opinions to you. You still need to love them. So Jesus says that we need to treat everyone with love and respect, even if their opinion is different to ours. And that's even more important within the church family, isn't it? Particularly as we're coming out of lockdown, many of us will have different ideas about what may be safe or sensible. Some of us will want to ditch the mask straight away and go around hugging everyone, but others will still feel vulnerable and may not even want to go to large gatherings such as church services. Still others will want to continue social distancing and wearing face masks, and there'll be every other variation in between. But as Christians, we are a family and we need to respect each other's point of view. Families do not always agree, but they still love each other. Paul tells us in Ephesians 4 to be completely humble and gentle, be patient, bearing with one another in love, and making every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. And as we come out of lockdown, that's what we must try to do.